What's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and today we just got some new Gouki cards. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell near so you can come our notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards. So without further ado, let's go ahead and check out these new Gouki cards. So first off, these cards are actually released in Doom of Dimensions, which is actually the DDD set, but it's awesome that we're actually getting Gouki cards in this set as well. Let's go ahead and see what these cards actually do. So first off, we do have a new main deck monster, and it looks absolutely amazing. And this card is called Gouki Mashin Suprex, and this card is a level 4 Earth Warrior Tuner, which is really interesting. This card is actually a tuner effect monster with 1800 attack and 0 defense. And you can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. For the first effect, you can reveal this card and one other Gouki monster in your hand and special summon both, but you cannot special summon while you control either of those monsters except for Gouki monsters. Are you kidding me? That gets you 2 monsters instantly out on your side of the field by just having this and any other Gouki monster on your side of the field, which is going to help you either Synchro summon because this card is a tuner, or it's going to help you go in for a link play, which is probably what the deck's going for as well, but that's a really good ability. And if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add a Gouki card from your deck to your hand, except another copy of this card. This card is instantaneously a 3-up. This card is instantaneously a 3-up. It's a free extender. It's a searcher when it touches the graveyard. This card is everything that Gouki needed. It's an extender. It searches out any of your Gouki cards. It's not even Gouki monsters. It just searches any Gouki card you want from your deck to your hand. This card is insane. This card is really good, and it's really interesting that it's actually a tuner, which leads me to believe we're probably about to get a Synchro monster for this archetype as well. So that's really, really cool. But that's a cool looking card. Okay, let's see what else we got. So we do have a new fusion monster as well, and this card looks phenomenal. Oh, dude, it's based on the Dino Wrestlers too. That's so cool. That is so cool. You can actually see the Dino Wrestler like skeletons right there. That's really, really cool. I love that. That is so, so cool. Okay, so what is this actually? Oh, there's the Synchro. Okay, so we are getting a Synchro, but let's check out the fusion first. Okay, so this card is called Gouki the Tyrant Ogre, and I believe it's actually based on the Gouki the Great Ogre, but now it's actually kind of like fused with the Dino Wrestlers, which is actually really cool. So let's see what this card actually does. So this card is a level 8 Earth Warrior fusion effect monster with 3,500 attack points. That is humongous. Okay, with 0 defense points. And its materials is a Gouki Link monster plus a warrior, dinosaur, or a Cyverse monster. Yes, that is directly referencing about the Dino Wrestlers because it can actually use a dinosaur to be able to make it. So that's actually really, really neat. Okay, so for its effect, you can only use the first and second, or the first effect of this card's name once per turn. If this card is fusion summoned, you can target cards on the field up to the total number, or up to the total link rating of the Gouki Link monsters used as material and destroy them. So that's a pretty cool ability that you can just pop cards on the field when it's actually summoned out to your side of the field. And if you used a Link 3 or higher monster as a material, those cards cannot be activated in response to this card's activation. Okay, so that's kind of sort of like a speed spell for pop, which is really insane. But this card is really a game-ending card because you want to use your copy of your Gouki the Great Ogre or a really high link rating Gouki monster to be able to actually fusion summon into this card so that you can instantly go in for a pop of multiple cards on the field, which is actually really insane. For the second effect, if this card battles, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects until the end of the damage step, which is a pretty cool effect. Overall, I like this card, and it's a really interesting card, and I hope with the next card we're actually have an easy way to be able to fusion summon into this thing, because it is a little bit interesting to be able to fusion summon into. But again, hopefully we have a very easy way to do that. But it kind of fuses the Dino Wrestler archetype into the Gouki archetype, which is pretty cool, and I really like that. So definitely comment down below some easy ways to be able to make this card, and it's a really cool looking card though. I really like that they've actually fused the two archetypes together. Okay, so for the next one we have Gouki Dragon Ogre. Okay, that looks good. That looks really good. I like that. Okay, so what does this do? Oh, we're getting another Link monster too. Okay. Okay, so this card is a level 6 Earth Warrior Synchro effect monster with 2200 attack and 0 defense points. And it's generic. It actually just requires a tuner and a non-tuner to make this card, so it's very easy to actually go into this card. But something that's really interesting is your new Mashin Suprex is actually a tuner, but it's a level 4 monster, so you're going to use something like a copy of Headbat to be able to go into this new Synchro monster if it's worth it. But let's see if it's actually worth going into. So this card has the ability that you only can use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. For the first effect, if this card is Synchro Summon, you get to add a Gouki spell from your deck to hand. Instantaneously worth it. Okay, so it's a searcher right off the bat for your Gouki spell cards. That's amazing that you can use this card to instantly get to the exact cards that you need off this card's effect, because you want to be able to search out your cards from your deck to your hand. For the second effect, if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target a Earth monster you control and a Gouki monster with a lower attack from your graveyard to your hand. Also, while the targeted monster is faced on the field, your opponent's monsters can only target that monster for attacks. Okay. That's a pretty cool ability, because you can target something absolutely massive on your side of the field, like a copy of your Tyrant Ogre, because it is an Earth monster, so you can actually just target it because it does have the ability, if it's sent to the grave, you just target one of your Earth monsters you control, and then you get to add a Gouki monster with lower attack in the grave to your hand, and then your opponent can only attack that monster, meaning you can target something massive like your copy of Tyrant Ogre, where they can only attack a 3,500 attack per monster, protecting your lower attack point Gouki monsters, which is pretty cool. Overall, definitely going to see play, especially since the tuner is so good. This card is going to be so easy to be able to make, and it's a really awesome card, because it's not going to stay on the field for very long, though, because you're just going to use its ability to be able to instantly grab your Gouki spell, and then you're probably going to link it away for something else, which is going to be really good overall to help you get into some really insane plays. But this card is really good. It's probably going to be like a 1 of, maybe a 2 of in the deck, but it's really, really interesting. Okay, so we also have a new Synchro, or actually a new Link monster, and I love the Link arrows of this card. This card almost looks like a dragon to me, though, like this, or like a salamander. It almost makes me think of the Salamangrate archetype. So this card is actually called Gouki Ogre, and I believe that it looks like Shrek. I know it's not, but it looks like Shrek. And it's actually a Link to Earth Warrior Link effect monster with 1900 attack points, and it has a bottom left and bottom right arrow, which is some of the best arrows in the entire game. So let's see if this card is actually worth playing. So it does require 2 Gouki monsters to be able to make this card, and you can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. For the first effect, if a Gouki monster is added from your deck to your hand, which it usually will be, except by drawing it, you can special summon any number of Gouki monsters in your hand with different levels from each other, but you cannot special summon while you control any of those face-up monsters except Goukis. Whoa, okay. Let's unpack that. So we just have the ability, usually your Gouki monsters have the ability to search other Gouki monsters, which is insane to be able to just instantly bring this card out to your side of the field. That is crazy powerful. This card is what the entire deck is going to be revolved around, putting on your side of the field as quickly as possible, so you can use its ability to be able to just turbo out a bunch of Gouki monsters side of the field. Like, this card already is on par with Magical Musketeer Max, except it just summons them from the hand, which is insane. So it is a Link 2, so it does require a little bit to put into it, but being able to just swarm the board with that ability is insane, to be able to use its fact that if a Gouki monster is added from your deck to your hand, except by drawing it, you can just special summon any number of Gouki monsters with different levels from your hand. That is really, really good, just to instantly bring them out to your side of the field so you can Link climb. This card's probably a 2 of in the extract, so you can summon it and then make a big board, and then if you need to use it again, you can. But overall, really good effect. For the second effect, during your main phase, there we go, you can fusion summon a Gouki fusion monster from your extract using monsters from your hand or field as material. That's a pretty good ability. Plus, I really like the effect that it has to be different levels, so you actually can use some of the higher level Gouki monsters a little bit easier now to get their really cool abilities. But overall, great card. This card is probably one of the best of the cards we've gotten so far. I feel like so far the fusion is the weakest, even though it's technically the strongest, but for effect wise, this is one of the strongest cards we've gotten so far. Okay, So what else do we have? Is that it? Okay, no, we do. Oh, they actually show it. Dude, that's cool. Okay, so we actually show off the Dino Wrestlers going toe-to-toe with the Gouki monsters, which is actually, both of these monsters is what is actually fusion summoned into to make the new Tyrant Ogre, which is really, really neat because you can actually see the same like skull bone, which is really, really cool. So let's go ahead and see what this new spell card actually does, because it's searchable, as well as we have the ability off of the Synchro monster. If it's Synchro summon, you can actually add a Gouki spell from your deck to your hand. And this card is actually a spell. So let's see what it does. Okay, so this card is actually the last card. So what this card actually does is you can only activate one of this card, and it's called Gouki Fighting Spirit. It's a continuous spell, and you can only activate one card with this card's name per turn, and you can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. When this card resolves, you can special summon a level 4 or lower Earth monster that's a warrior, dinosaur, or Cyberse monster from your hand in defense. Okay. That's pretty good just to instantly bring out a monster side of the field. I wish it didn't care about the level a little bit, but it's okay. That's a pretty good ability. For the second effect, you can treat a Link 3 or higher Gouki monster, special summon a Dino Wrestler or a G-Golem monster from your deck or extract. Okay, so now they've fused 3 different archetypes into one, where you can actually use Gouki, G-Golem, and the actual Dino Wrestlers, which is pretty cool because the same character played all 3 of those different decks, and it was actually around the Earth AI that was actually inside of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains anime, which is really neat. They used G-Golem, and then I believe the name was Go, actually used Dino Wrestlers. Forgive me, I didn't actually watch Vrains. I should watch Vrains, and definitely comment down below if you have, but I believe their name was Go, that actually used Dino Wrestler and used Gouki at the same time, which is really interesting. I think they started out with Gouki and they moved over to Dino Wrestlers later in the anime, and then G-Golem came out later than that. So it's really interesting to actually see all 3 of those different archetypes fused together into one through some new support, which is really cool overall because you can use all the different support cards now in this one deck, which is really, really neat. But it's primarily Gouki. But overall, really interesting cards. This card, the takeaways from this is this card's a 3-of. This card is instantaneously a 3-of in the deck because it's basically a free extender, and if it's sent to the graveyard, you get to add a Gouki card from your deck to your hand. So you grab anything that you need, and it makes it super easy to go in for a Synchro summon without even wasting your normal summon and being able to grab the exact Gouki that you need. So you actually can kind of get like a double search out of this, making your copy of Headbat like a 3-of in the deck, because you want to be able to summon Batman alongside this card, which is really cool. So you can go in for a Synchro play, and then once you do, you're going to summon your copy of Ogre or Dragon Ogre, which is probably going to be like a 1 to a 2-of, probably a 2-of because it searches out the spell cards. And if it's Synchro summon, you get to add a spell, and then when this card touches the graveyard, you're going to get to add another Gouki card. So you get like a double search off of it, which is crazy for like 2 for 2 plus a monster on the field, which is pretty good. So you kind of break even, plus it's kind of like a +1 because you get a boss monster as well. So then you can use this as a link material as well, and if it's sent to the grave, you get to target a Gouki or an Earth monster you control, add a Gouki monster with lower attack from your grave to your hand, so you can recover back your copy of your Suprex, which is really cool. You're mashing Suprex and keep going, which is really neat. And then you also have the ability, you can normal summon it at that point if you need to. And then also you do get the new, I'm going to call it Shrek Ogre, but you get the new Ogre as well, which is really cool. And it does really make me think of the actual, it's almost like Salamangreat mixed with Gouki, which is really cool because of the fire and the way the scales are, which is really neat. It looks awesome. I absolutely love it. But this card looks really good, and this card is going to be like the big takeaway of the deck, that you're going to try and get to this as quickly as possible, so you can swarm the board with your Gouki monsters, and you can even fusion summon into the big boss. Now, the big boss is okay. It's a pop. It's a game-ending card. You want to summon it out to your side of the field if you need to, but I really wish it did say you could use, if you used a Link 2 or higher monster, then they couldn't respond because you're going to be using probably this as your fusion material. But this card makes it so easy to summon. This card's probably a 2-of. This is probably a 1-of in the deck, because if it's fusion summon, you can actually target cards on the field up to the number of link rating of the Gouki link monster used for this card's material and destroy them. So you're probably going to get like a pop 2 off of it, because you're going to use the new Gouki Link 2 to be able to make this. And if it battles, your opponent cannot activate cards. But it's basically, it's kind of sort of free. It's kind of sort of free to make this card, but it's just a 1-of, because you're going to basically use this plus another, or basically your new Gouki Link monster plus any other card to be able to make your your new big boss monster. So overall, this is a 3 of. This is probably a 1 of. This is probably a 1 to a 2 of, depending on how tight the extra deck is, which is already very tight. This card is 100% a 2 of. 100% at least a 2 of. Maybe, I wouldn't say a 3 of. Probably a 2 of. Okay. And then the new Gouki Fighting Spirit. It's probably the worst of all the cards so far. But it does have the ability to turbo out some weird like plays. I might not be seeing it. Definitely comment down below if I'm not, but there is some really interesting plays that you could pull off with this, because you can treat a Link 3 or a higher Gouki monster to special summon a Dino Wrestler or a G-Goler monster from your deck or your extra deck, which is pretty interesting. Maybe you summon like G-Golem Crystal Heart to be able to bring back a Link 3 from your graveyard to help you Link climb. You can maybe do something like that, which would be really interesting, but you have to tribute a Link 3 to be able to do it, which is a little bit of a high cost. So this card's probably like a 1 of maybe in the deck. Again, I might be missing something about this card, but it's kind of weird to me, because you do have to, like, when it resolves, you have to special summon. You can special summon a level 4 Earth from the hand, which is good. But being able to tribute a Link 3 just seems like a really, really high cost to be able to pay to get a special summon from the deck or the extra deck that can just be Ash. Like, that's really, really tough. If it just said extra deck, it would be a little bit better, because then you couldn't Ash it. But overall, really neat support. I think this is probably, again, 1 of, 2 of, 1 to 2 of, 1 of, 3 of. This is like one of the best cards, hands down. So that's gonna be this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I'm really liking the way that Doom of Dimensions is actually shaping up. We have 2 really cool archetypes so far getting support between DDD and the Gouki cards, but definitely comment down below what archetypes you would like to see get support in Doom of Dimensions. So that's gonna be this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell and there's sync up part notification squad. I'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.